Reaction to today's press conference between Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell in shaping up the 53-man roster. Asked about the thought process behind trading for Jalen Reagor and letting go of Ihmir Smith-Marsette, Kwesi said that Reagor has good skill sets individually, but can also contribute a lot to the offense, and that Smith-Marsette has a bright future. Also asked about letting go of Armon Watts in the process of trading for former Houston Texan Ross Blacklock, and he emphasized Blacklock's pass rushing abilities and that it was a tough conversation to have with Watts. Now, my take on these two situations. First, trading for Jalen Reagor, letting go of Ihmir Smith-Marsette. Part of me is like, okay, of all the players that you could cut to make this happen, Oli Udoh, for example, did you really need to cut Smith-Marsette? You can have 6 receivers on the roster. It's okay. On the other hand, I'm not worked up about this because the Vikings gave this man ample opportunities as a punt returner, and it failed. And as a receiver, he was 4th on the depth chart. I don't have the energy to raise all holy hell about this, whereas Jalen Reagor is a former first-round pick who now has a quarterback who can consistently put him in positions to succeed. It's fine. The Armon Watts thing, however, that's really concerning because the defensive line with Watts on it was, to me, at the very least competent. I was starting to feel a lot better about it, especially with Harrison Phillips showing out at nose tackle. But with Watts gone, you've set the defense back. The defensive line specifically is back at square one. You can't rely on Ross Blacklock as a starter. He couldn't even make it in Houston as a starter. Just 3 starts in 2 years. T.Y. McGill's on IR. I suppose it's Jonathan Bullard's job to lose. Even then, the depth behind him is god-awful. At this point, you have to sign Ndamukong Suh. That needs to happen ASAP. Switching back to offense, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah said that the team is currently looking at different options for a third quarterback. Now, I thought this team was good with 2 QBs on the roster, but at some point, perhaps sooner rather than later, expect this team to make another move at the quarterback position. Kevin O'Connell said they tried to push Kellen Mond, but ultimately it got to a point where if they had to ask him to step in to be the backup quarterback for a team that's ready to compete, that is not fair to Kellen Mond right now. And that is the most generous way of saying he ain't ready, and he's not. Talked about Sean Mannion, comparing him to Nick Mullins, and that what put him over the top, Nick Mullins over Sean Mannion, is a 17 games experience that he has. And finally, Kevin O'Connell emphasized that this was never a competition between Sean Mannion and Kellen Mond for QB2. No, one of these dudes needed to outright win the backup quarterback job, and neither one of them could get it done. Simple as that. Kevin O'Connell trading Jesse Davis. He's going to have an opportunity to start elsewhere, but credit to the progression of Ed Ingram, and that Jalen Reagor is going to have every opportunity to be the punt returner for this team. He's already a lock to get that job. But bottom lines here, the defensive line is a hot-ass mess. I thought the Vikings should have made a move for Ndamukong Suh before letting go of Armon Watts. Now you have to do it. And Jalen Reagor, giving up a 4th is a conditional 4th that may de-escalate to a 5th. Giving up a 4th is the only thing that I'm saying. I don't know if I would have done all that. But in terms of Ihmir Smith-Marsette, a wide receiver 4, unless he goes to a team like Green Bay where they really have ample opportunities for a wide receiver to stand out, it's all good.